Okay, hi, and welcome back to my channel. We are feeling very glam today with a very simple, I don't know, it's cold earlier, you can see my nipples. I felt like Miss Pamela Anderson, if you will, so I was just feeling Marilyn, old Hollywood, and just Pam. So, anyways, hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I have another story time, and it's actually quite interesting because I wasn't planning on making this, but then special someone actually pointed out that I only make videos about boys that have hurt me, people that have hurt me, kind of like a Taylor Swift, if you will, with my videos. But my whole point behind that was it was supposed to be like a diary, just something I kept very private, but also very public, because it was me sharing my heart and feelings with you guys, hoping that someone could relate. So for today's little story time, I'm going to talk about someone very special in my life who actually hasn't hurt me yet and has actually been really amazing. And quite honestly, that is scary. I'd rather get hurt than be dealing with what I'm dealing with right now, because he is so amazing, he's so perfect, he's such an angel. And if he's watching this video and he knows who he is, you are not allowed to watch, okay? I am telling you right now, if you watch this video before you are allowed to, you'll be in so much trouble. So there is your warning. You are not allowed to watch this video, and I'm just gonna say that again. You're not allowed to watch this video until you are sure you want to be with me, because like I said, this is me pouring my heart out. This is me pouring my heart and feelings out, and I do not want you to watch it until you want to be with me, because I don't want this to affect, our relationship in any ways. So a big part of that reason is I don't know if I can share his name. I know I'm very brutally honest on here, and I usually tell names, and I just don't care, and I just speak my truth. However, he works in a very professional environment. He has a ton of followers on social media. He does a lot of business. And out of that respect, I just don't want any chance of someone finding out that it's him. So I will not be sharing his name, which I rather say his name because it's so cute. And he just makes me honestly really happy. And he just came out of nowhere. So I will be honest with you guys. I've been dealing with a lot this year. I think it's way worse than anything I've ever dealt with in my life. I wish, I'd go back to being abused by Kyle, by Victor, getting hit, all the nasty, evil things that I've dealt with in the past, rather than date this guy, because there's nothing wrong with him. He's a perfect angel. In the past, I could say, this person hurt me, this person does this, and I had to second guess a lot of things and kind of make up for things. But, with him so far, I have had no red flags. Honestly, what I want to talk about today is, so I met this guy a month ago, maybe a month and a couple weeks ago. And he was just honestly this perfect guy. He came over to my house, he kissed and stuff, and it was just a really great time. And he was just such an angel, and I thought, okay, probably never gonna see him again. This is my one, it's how it always starts, right? We always think it's the most perfect relationship on planet Earth. And then, out of the blue, he was just so excited to see me again, and he was here to see his family. He was dealing with a lot. He was dealing with a death in the family, and, he made the time to see me 2 more times before he left, and that was in a span of 6 or 7 days. It was really fast, and, he took me to dinners, and he was paying for everything. And let me just be clear, it is not about the fact that he pays for things. It's about the fact that someone is trying to show me that he wants to meet me more than halfway. And I feel like in relationships, that is how I have always been. I have always tried to be respectful. I've always tried to show everyone my love. And, that's usually how I end up getting taken advantage of. He's just been perfect in that way. And here's the kicker. So he is actually still married to a wife. Before you all panic, he is getting a divorce. And he has 2 kids, and I've seen Snapchat videos of them. I haven't met them yet, but they are honestly the most beautiful kids in the world. And I think it's so weird because I've always used to say my dream is just I'd find someone that already had kids that weren't mine, just because of I'm scared to pass down my anxiety and depression to a kid. That would be, my DNA. It runs in my family, and I just know that I would have a kid that has depression, and that just would hurt me really badly. So anyways, all that being said, it's literally a match made in heaven for what I have been talking about and wanting, and it just was so special. So the reason he's dealing with his divorce is it's not going to be finalized for a while, but his wife is dating people, okay? So it's not like I'm some homewrecker, and don't get me wrong, I feel like such a homewrecker after he told me. I just feel like, here I am, but obviously he's full-on gay. He tried to make his marriage work, and he just couldn't. He tried to follow his faith, and, that led him to make the decisions that he made. So I feel like there should be no judgment there, because he was just trying, to do the right thing before he realized the right thing was to follow his heart, which I just think is so beautiful and just so sweet. And yeah, so we saw each other 3 times, and then he actually lives in Texas right now because he has a business out in Texas. He has a business in Seattle. He has a business partner in Maui, I think. So he is just all over the place with so many businesses, and it's just, talking to him has been so inspiring. So after we saw each other those 3 times, I thought I'll probably never see this guy again. He has everything in the world going for him, and my life has turned into a complete dumpster. And then out of the blue, he wanted to see me again. So he offered, you know, like, let's hang out in Seattle. I'm going to be doing business there, right? I got so excited and I was like, I would die to go to Seattle. That sounds like such an amazing thing. I've never been. However, my financial situation is not what I want it to be. And I'll be completely honest with you guys. Like, it's been a struggle. Like, you know, money's just so tough. And I feel like it's just such a hard world we live in right now. I'm struggling. I'm trying to be a full-time student. I'm working 2 jobs and it's still not enough, right? I'm even doing this just for fun. Maybe it'll take off somewhere. And you know, I'm just trying to do everything I can and reaching out of every outlet. But he just said, can you come to Seattle? And I said, you know, I'd love to. Like, that sounds like an amazing trip. And, you know, without really discussing it first, he just bought me a plane ticket. Like, who buys someone else a plane ticket and says, come to Seattle? Like, I felt like I was living like this dream, this fantasy. I felt like it wasn't real. And it apparently was. And then, you know, I had to go to Seattle. So I got all the time off work that I needed. I did everything that I had to, right? And I got on a plane to Seattle, and I just remember the whole time going to Seattle, I was nervous. I had butterflies in my stomach, like I couldn't breathe. And I just kept thinking like, oh my gosh. And of course, you know, on the flip side of things, like, I'm not gonna lie, there were so many doubts. I'm like, this can't be real. Like, I was thinking, Kaden, you need an escape plan. Like, you need to have everything in place for if something goes wrong, because I didn't know what this guy wanted. I didn't know, like, is he just interested in hooking up? Like, just because he bought me a plane ticket, does that mean, you know, I owe him any sexual favors? Like, I was really, really nervous. So anyways, I just kept thinking that the whole time on the way to Seattle. I was like, let my brain be happy for once, and like, let me just enjoy this beautiful moment. And maybe, you know, through all the crap I've been through, that like, maybe it's finally gonna be my fairy tale. Like, I just felt like Cinderella. And then on the flip side of things, I was like, I'm ready to be murdered, to be all sorts of things. Like, you know, I was terrified. And, you know, I just had that not even smart necessarily, but just so much trauma has happened to me from trusting people, that I was just ready for anything. But I was also trying to be into the moment and feel the Cinderella vibe. And I do believe there are good people in the world, and apparently there is, because I found this guy. And, you know, when I got there, he was so sweet. He was not trying to pressure me sexually at all. He was just so gorgeous and amazing. And it was really funny because I packed in such a hurry, and I tried to be so low key, and I felt like I had nothing to wear the whole trip, and I just felt like this dumb loser. But here was this gorgeous, gorgeous man, like, giving my space, like, letting me shower by myself, like, leaving me alone at night when we slept. We did sleep in the same bed, and, you know, obviously we did kiss, but I let him know that I can only go that far unless you want to be boyfriends. I'm not that type of person. And he was so sweet about it, not mad, not grumpy. You could tell there was no cruel intent. And he opened up to me a lot and just shared that he goes on all these business trips, and it's just sad because he goes alone, and all of his business partners have wives and all sorts of things, and he just wants someone special that he can take with him. So he was so glad that I went to Seattle with him. And even beyond that, like, let's get real. Okay, buying a plane ticket and flying someone over is one thing. He knew that I had never been to Seattle. He set up all these things. So I think the fish market is called Pike's Place, if I'm wrong, like, smack me on the head. He planned a cute day of just going down there and like seeing all that stuff. And then he also was so sweet, made reservations for the Space Needle, which obviously I've never been to Seattle. Like, that was on my list, but I wasn't gonna push anything. Like, I just wanted, you know, to go with the flow. But he just took care of everything, you know what I mean? Like, it's so hard because when I go on trips with my family, like, my family, no offense, is not doing anything. Like, I'm doing it, I'm planning it, I'm making sure we have our baggage, I'm, you know, having to take care of everything. That it was just so nice to go. And, you know, this guy was just so sweet, didn't care what I was wearing, didn't, you know, and I'm just so used to control, and I'm used to abuse, and I'm used to all these things, that it was just this exciting moment where I was like, you're not asking me for anything. Sorry, I'm out of breath. So then, you know, we spent a day doing that stuff, and then the next day, like, we got on those scooter things that you can ride around. I terrified, scared, thought I was gonna die. But, you know, he just knew my financial situation, paid for everything. Like, I'm telling you, had dinner set up, reservations for everything. And it was just the most beautiful experience like I've ever been on in my life. And it was really funny because I was only there with him for really like 3 days. It was a quick trip. But on that second day, he was just so cute and sweet. And I felt like, you know, he kind of, after the first day was really nice, don't get me wrong. But that second day, I felt something different. And I even mentioned it to him. I just felt like, you know, he let his wall down. And when he finally, like, he was nice the first day, right? But the second day, I felt just this more connective energy. And, you know, that just made me feel so safe. And I let down my connective energy. And that's why I got on the dumb scooter. And I was like, I trust you. Like, if I if I get a scar on my face, I had a friend flip off of one and I terrified him, right? But I was like, no, I'm gonna try something new with him. And we rode scooters around and it was so fun, and he just made everything a blast. He got us the nicest hotel with a tub, and you know, I just felt so safe with him, and he was so sweet and just so giving. And I thought, like, because we finally, you know, final day arrived and we had to go home, and I was like, wow, okay, so this is it, we're going home. And you know, we flew, because he lives in Texas and I live in Utah, right? We had to stop in Denver, and so we just got to fly to Denver together, and he, just so sweet. I just tickled his hand and gave him a little back tickle, and was just, apparently that's the way to his heart. I don't know. Then we both opened up to each other about a lot, and I think what's so different about him is I feel so comfortable telling him things, and just because he's so respectful. And you know, he told me so much about his marriage and his kids and how he wanted things so badly to work out and they didn't happen to, and you know, that's just life. And I think that's why I honestly get so scared, because you just never know, and that's how life works. And I think that's why it's so scary to be talking to this guy, because I honestly don't have one bad thing to say about him. He made me feel like the most beautiful person on earth. And I thought he was the most beautiful person on earth. Like, he's so in shape and just gorgeous. And I just couldn't believe that someone this successful and perfect wanted me. And, you know, I also think it's like a really good motivator, because he's just so amazing that, like, business and everything in life and being a dad. So yeah, it was a really great trip. And then we got to Denver, and it was really sad because we didn't have that much time to get to our gates. So our goodbye was like a little scary and strange. And there were so many, the airport was packed beyond reason. And it was just wild. And it was really funny because he wouldn't kiss me. So I was like, hey, I'm not leaving without a kiss or a goodbye. So we ran into the boys' bathroom so he could kiss me. And it was just cutest, sweetest thing ever. And it's funny because with him, I try to be, like, he always teases me that I don't text him back fast enough, that, like, after that kiss in the airport, he had to go to the restroom, actually, and he thought I'd be waiting for him, like, when he got out of the bathroom, but I was just trying so hard to not be clingy because I don't want to come off like anything, and, you know, that's something I'm working on. It's just, I knew, like, after that trip, I wasn't going to see him for a while because we live in 2 different states, and I just wanted to be, you know, this amazing, fun person, and I didn't want to cause any stress on him. I wanted him to feel like just that I was a person worth his time, and you know, he's just made me feel like I'm worth somebody's time, and no one's gonna tell me I can't wear crazy earrings, I can't wear crazy jewelry, I can't wear little girly tops, I can't hop on a YouTube video and say whatever I want, and I can wear heels and he won't care. And you know, it's something we've discussed a lot because I do go back and forth. I know for you guys a lot that I present this very girly person, but I feel like that's part of the stage act, I guess. And it's not an act, like, don't get that twisted. I think it's very androgynous, right? I think it's very Jeffree Star. I think I'm a boy. Like, when I'm dressed up like this, I go in the men's restroom to pee just because I still feel like at the end of the day I'm a boy, which that's a whole political issue that I'm gonna get yelled at for now. But the moral of the story is I had the most amazing time with him in Seattle, and I wish I could show you the pictures, but I guess let me cover his face and then I'll show you. So that's me and my mans. He's adorable, and I just had the most amazing time with him. And point of the story is, I really think I want the key takeaway to be is I'm gonna believe in this, I'm gonna fight hard for this, I'm gonna put my whole heart into this, and I don't know, don't give up, because I really thought like I didn't deserve love, I didn't deserve anything. I spent so many years chasing after boys that didn't care, putting so much into relationships of people that weren't gonna love me for who I wanted to be, but who they wanted me to be. And actually, it's really funny because me and him are going to Vegas next Sunday, and I'm hoping to make a little YouTube video for you guys. I'm going to not film him because I can't, but I'm sure he'll help me film a lot of stuff, and just I want to make it a really great video for you guys, so it's less just story times. I know story times have been all I've been doing lately, but I just want you guys to know that I miss you and I love you, and if you're still watching and if you've been there from the beginning, I'm just happy that someone cares to watch my videos, and if no one cares, this is my diary, so I can always go back and reflect on my past. So I love you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys hopefully in our next trip to Las Vegas. So thanks for watching. Okay, now we gotta do thumbnail.